Hello, I'm Maya Hussein, and this is the Raven Report. Today we're gonna have two people, Hasso and Levi.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, pleasure to be on.
So our topic today is going to be about the brand new DreamWorks movie that's going to be coming out soon during September. It is called Forgotten Island, and it is all a Filipino-themed cultured movie, which is honestly having more of an outbreak than other movies do, since Filipino culture is not something you usually see in movies, especially animated ones that are run by the type of companies.
Yeah. I can't say I've been too familiar with the culture itself. The most I've known is, I think, something from a video game series that's about a woman with a disembodied head with floating tendrils or something like that.
Okay, we're just gonna skip over whatever he said.
No, that's real. It's like a real myth and legend.
What was that movie?
This is a Filipino movie that is called, and it has Filipino culture in it, and the two main characters are Filipino, which never really gets shown in animated movies such as DreamWorks or on Disney, which a lot of people have had a lot of actually positive reinforcement on. And so because of that, it's become way more popular than other DreamWorks nor Disney movies have.
You know, there have been a lot of Disney movies that have come out recently, and what's this? This isn't Disney.
DreamWorks.
It gets confusing.
DreamWorks.
That's because
there have been a lot
of
of animated films that have come out that I haven't really seen that interesting to me, but this actually seems like one that I would go out of my way to look to.
Yeah. And Levi, how do you feel about this personally for the movie trailer and how it just looks, the appeal of it?
It looks interesting. I like the use of just very bright and vibrant colors, you know. Again, not very familiar with the Filipino culture, but I'm sure maybe there was like a ton of references in there, but I personally didn't get. But, you know, animation's good. DreamWorks, these coming years have been upping their game a lot with their animations, and I think it did mention in the trailer that these were made by the same people who did Puss in Boots.
Yeah,
So,
Puss in Boots.
and Puss in Boots was a really good animated film. So I think this one,
Me too.
yeah.
Very popular. Even had his own game.
Yeah.
But we can also, if you'd like, to see the comments of people who are Filipino and how they react to the movie themselves. This one says, from a person named Marcus, as a Filipino, it's unreal to have a movie centered around my country's mythology by DreamWorks themselves. Honestly, can't wait for this. So there's already one of them. And there's another one where it's saying, it's brilliant how she managed to incorporate song into a breathing exercise. And this reminds me of how my childhood friends forgot me. It's literally a painful feeling, and my brain secretly moving all those memories. So it can also affect people personally, it seems. And personal levels, cultural levels, including apparently what's shown here as mythology from the Philippines, which is also very rare to even have. Another one says, Filipino-led character set in the Philippines. The Filipino folklore references, the jeepney and the song are so good. Filipino, they must have a karaoke seat.
Just taking a look here at some surface level stuff that's appearing through Google. Looks like some of the cast is actually, they have Filipino descent or ancestry or are Filipino themselves. This actress here, what's her name? Liza Sobano, however you pronounce her last name, is apparently a Filipino-American actress, which is
Honestly, I feel
nice.
I feel like this movie awakens a way more wide range of diversity and also cultural mythology going back from ancient times for these people, and even can hit home for people now, which will stay relevant in the future since personal emotions can never really extend too far as what they already are.
That, and I don't believe Filipino mythology is necessarily as known as, say, Greek mythology, Egyptian mythology, or
even just the average caveman. Really is never really known that much.
Yeah, I guess you can say that. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. You never really hear about it.
We mentioned off air that about some other Disney movies that haven't really, I keep saying Disney, but animated films that haven't really done a good job in representing their culture of interest. Do you think that this one's going to do a better job based on what we've seen. So, I mean, we just have the trailer. We know it's still in production, and we haven't really. I think, as Levi pointed out, it's like there are a lot of references that we perhaps don't know. But y'all have any thoughts about that?
I think, to be honest, I'm more inclined to be in the middle. I'm sure there's, again, what Hasso was saying earlier, that there was probably a ton. But at the same time, I'm like cautiously optimistic because it'd be cool to have an actual interesting film that comes out that is, shines light on something that most people probably don't even know that much. But also, this is still in production and things can change, and a lot of things can just happen behind the scenes that, some people don't know, and that can honestly make or break movies. What would be an example of something like this? Can't think of anything right now.
I feel like I don't know, and I'm not a film expert, but like some of like British films, like the most famous example is like the Harry Potter film saga, whatever you want to call it. They, to my understanding, used purely British actors. Like it was a requisite. There's a famous part where Robin Williams actually wanted to be, what's the big guy's name? Do y'all recall?
Hagrid?
Is it what's his name? Hagrid?
Yeah, Hagrid.
Is it Hagrid? Whatever. The big guy's name. Robin Williams was hesitant going to play that role, or wanted to play that role, but he couldn't because he was American, and so it seemed like they did a really good job with that. Whereas a lot of other films from other countries that aren't these Anglo-American films, they have some work, right?
I'd say personally, with looking at the trailer, I mean, like what Levi had said, it can change over time, but what the trailer has given us so far, if we even rewind it, there's like, for example, the differentiating, like the different colors of the birds. I mean, the jungle looking like feel of it all. And the way that everything is so bright and vibrant compared to how maybe some other people may compare the Philippines or maybe recall the Philippines. And when it comes to mythology, people, at least for me, I usually think of like more like kind of rocky, kind of like more like, I don't even know really what I think of. I kind of think of deserts whenever I think of that, but it just might be because of what I am. But
What you are.
yeah. But with the vibrancy that it gives and the fact that it keeps relevance from now, like the bird, for example, showing that they go back to all those times before, or just showing how the characters can look and can act. It shows that they do have some human, also with a reference of the who let the dogs out type of thing.
Huh.
I just find that funny.
Did y'all think this is interesting that what was the this actually think this was a Disney film with the big red panda one. What was that one?
Oh, that one's called Red Panda, I believe.
No, it was
Something.
It was Turning Red.
Turning Red.
Yeah.
It was Turning Red.
John noticed. I think that film took place. It wasn't in the present. It was like I think
It was like in the mid 2000s Canada.
mid 2000s Canada. This one takes place in the 90s. Y'all find that interesting at all?
It was?
That we're producing films that are kind of back a decade or so.
I'd say it was because it just feels like a better time from back in the day, you know?
Shit.
What? Go.
That, and I feel like there's also like a nostalgic factor that some like for the certain audience that they kind of want to hit as well for the time frame.
I wonder if they're trying to connect with like the parents as well, because people that were born in the 90s, those would be like your generation's parents. Well, some of them, unless you have older parents, and so they're also trying to connect with the present while also the present generation being Gen Z.
I feel like that also matches well with the movie itself, since most of it is supposed to be taken now present time, but they go back in time in a way, you know?
I wonder what's going on in the Philippines in the 90s. I'll be honest, I'm not too.
Makes you want to research it.
Mm-hmm.
I keep thinking of those times, and every time I was like, what's happening in the Philippines? And I think back to the Irish Revolt that happened. Like, I think was it during the night?
You're on all of it too.
Okay, during the night, it was I thought it was really modern. Like they had ski masks and they had. Oh God, it's like what's happening in Ireland right now? Just Irish things, I guess.
According to Google, the Philippines is going through this, again, transformative, tumultuous decade. The political deregulation, civilization, and some natural disasters. I wonder if that has anything to do with their chosen time period. Just something to think
Just
about.
to keep it relevant, but also to go back in time to show how important it really was to those people who were part of it. Like hitting from people who did go through the cultural changes, people who are learning about it. It also makes you just want to learn about what's happening now. Why is it so important to have this movie? Why are so many people excited?
And the kind of what I mentioned earlier, not to my own horn, but it's if you have people who are Filipino immigrants and they have parents that grew up in the era, it could be something that leads to conversations with their parents. Oh, this is what it was like when I was growing up, and this is what we saw when I was growing up. So, just a thought. Again, we're just kind of guessing here, because we don't
Just get
have the whole film. Maybe when it comes out, we can do with Maya's reaction.
yeah, we're gonna have to do like the
We have
fakes.
another blooper.
They're like redo this, just try to act surprised on the fourth time.
We gotta get a big setup here at the Raven Report where we get this big, you know the videos I'm talking about. This reaction videos are very popular with John on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I used to watch a lot of reaction video.
Really?
I would like a post or like a trailer, and I'd be like, I'm so excited. Let's see how Corey X Kenshin reacts.
Yeah.
My favorite are the ones when you have an actual expert watch it.
I enjoy watching music videos of like my favorite shows or anything whenever they do come out, like fan made music, and watching people who are professional singers watch it and give their honest discussion about like how good or how bad or like what they may need a robot.
Oh yeah, I've seen those. I saw one with y'all know who Selena is, right? Selena.
Oh yeah, Celine.
There's a music coach, the one from Texas, who saw her sing and they're like, "Oh, this is so great," and those are nice to watch too.
Yeah, I like I like watching those videos because it really brings you down to earth for how either genuine or how ungenuine the movies are. Knowing that they're fake, of course, but seeing how well they actually did their research for the movies or for the shows.
Okay, back to the Philippines.
What else is there to say about the film? I mean, it comes out in September.
Oh yeah, and it's a theater only release, and that was what I was talking about earlier before I was carried and loved. I mentioned how I wonder if it being only in theaters might impact its popularity and DreamWorks kind of confidence in original works. Because with Disney, I feel like Disney's confidence with original works are really down the drain, since most of the time whenever they do make something original, it's barely any money is put towards it for advertising or anything. And it isn't until like it's going to come out in like 2 months before anybody actually realizes that it was a thing.
Maya, what do you think about other representations of different cultures and other films within the animated sphere? Like, not to drop your whole heritage here, but where's your family from, if you don't mind me?
It's from Iraq.
Iraq. So that kind of connects with what I was thinking. What do you think about the movie Aladdin?
Aladdin?
The newer one or the older one?
I honestly couldn't care less. I honestly kind of prefer that original Aladdin, the one that Disney put out, because although
the animated one or the live action?
the animated one. I never watched the live action one since I like animated more. But with the culture of it, it's a bit strange, and I honestly prefer that way more because the original story of Aladdin, the old one, I don't think we should put on any type of movie nor anything live action, PG-13, anything. We should not put that on live because the subjects that are in that include trigger warnings beyond trigger warnings.
Mm-hmm.
So I do enjoy the Aladdin movie, ironically, knowing what I am. Oh yeah, made you giggle, huh?
No, I just was curious because
I could care less.
yeah, I know it's probably not your forte, if you will. But what did you think about like the clothing or
The clothing is
the
pretty
representation of culture?
The clothing is actually pretty accurate, surprisingly.
I thought it was like more Turkish. So yeah.
A little bit Turkish, but Arabic ties in with Turkish when it comes to language.
It is.
So, especially the type of dialect that you speak, especially. For me, I do speak a bit of Turkish for my dialect. So, I'm okay with it. But the type of wear that Jasmine has is dancing wear, which I do find quite strange. Because in, like, the culture, usually you'll have, like, dancing wear where women are allowed to show off their skin, specifically, like, their stomachs for hip dancing and their arms and stuff with very baggy or, like, pants or even just shorts and all that type of stuff. But even then, it is pretty accurate. Just she does need a veil, a type of hijab of some sorts. And I don't like from what I've seen in the movie, there's only been dancing girls, which is quite strange. Because those girls are only really made for palaces or like for men who bought the girls. So I don't know if every girl in Aladdin was bought, but I think they should have a lot more better wear to have on.
It kind of makes you wonder about the film where what's the name of the film again?
Lost Island.
The Lost Island thing.
Forgotten Island.
The Forgotten Island.
Yeah.
I wonder how prepared they are to represent that culture, the Filipino.
Yeah, when it comes to music. Because normally music there, I'm not sure if that's fully Filipino, but I can do a few Google searches, like a few, just little fact checks. But from like our raw take is that I don't really think it's full on Filipino songs, so I'm wondering if they will actually include Filipino music. I feel like it would add like a huge vibe as like maybe background like sound or something whenever they're going throughout that jungle area because it looks really prominent in the movie. So I just want to know. Also, there's a person that they had met who apparently was in the Forgotten Island. I wonder if she's like a type of relative of theirs in the past, like an ancestor of some sorts.
I don't know.
It's a good idea, honestly, but.
Yeah, a lot of times with the newer movies, because of the desire to accurately represent the target culture, we see a lot of consultants on set, and especially with the designers of clothes and the way the characters look, how they were judged depending on the time. So it's just something to think about. Of course, that's not my forte. This is just if you don't mind.
I want to kind of compare it to Miles Morales, for example. Really popular movie, Into the Spider-Verse. He is actually a Puerto Rican black child. Like the mom is Puerto Rican, I believe, and of course dad is black. So that's like a cool thing to like mix in together. They don't make it like the whole entire prompt of the movie, but they do show it via culture by the mom speaking to him in Spanish.
Are you talking about the Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse?
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, that's probably of all the Spider-Man movies I have seen, that's my favorite.
Exactly, which is very strange for the fact that was the one that has the most culture in it.
I think the one, there's an older one that most people associate with Spider-Man. I think it's a Tobey Maguire.
Oh yeah, Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movies are pretty good, but with what Maya was saying earlier, it like a cultural movie, especially with the sequel that they had with the I think the Indian Spider-Man as well, definitely does allow creative freedom to explore in culture.
And there was also like a Korean, no, it was a Japanese or Korean girl Spider-Man, the anime girl.
Yes.
It's to show, like, not even just the culture, but to show visually how they all look, yet they all work together perfectly. They're all Spider-Man, which is what a lot of people love a lot. It's like, no matter who you are, you can become a Spider-Man.
That would actually be a really cool episode to Spider-Man into the
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse.
I say the second one, because that one shows the most culture by showing every Spider-Man, like, kind of walking up in, like, a hallway and stuff. You can see all the culture.
Is that the one that's across the Spider-Verse?
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse 2. There's 2.
There's 2?
Yeah. This is the first one where you see, like, Miles Morales, like, becoming Spider-Man. The second one is where you see the Indian Spider-Man. You see more of all the other cultures, honestly.
Isn't there going to be a third one?
There is in current production. It's just, it's kind of going through hell right now because I think the voice actor for... Well, not just the voice actor. There's tons of different things. But the voice actor for Miles Morales was like harassing his co-star or something on Twitter.
Oh, wow.
Something like that.
I don't think it's very Spidey of him.
No, it's not spectacular.
Not very Spidey. You're really taking a leap of faith there, huh?
We can also do a deep dive on the different Marvel movies because they seem like they're coming out left and right. And
They've been coming out with Marvel movies. It's like One Piece. They never stop.
It's the daily slop.
It's like once you think it ends, there's like more. It's like Arby's meal. Once you think it's done for, it comes back. I'm not personally a fan of Marvel. My dad loves it though. He's like biggest Marvel fan ever. Ask about anything, he's like a dictionary. For me, I don't like that because he watches it so often.
I think Mr. J's husband is as well.
He likes what is it? What does he like again? He likes Transformers. That's a yeah, that's what he's into. He likes Transformers. He buys huge Transformer things of like $200 and stuff, and even more.
It would be fun about Miss J and her husband. Honestly, tell us about your trans. Now we were
People.
or
You're gonna see her so disappointed. She's not even gonna talk for most of it. She's just gonna be there. He's gonna be rambling for hours.
she's not even.
Speaking of
If you want like a 10-hour thing, just ask him. Not him, but ask the husband. Talk about Transformers.
yeah. Speaking of Marvel, have you guys ever heard of the story of the Fantastic Four movie that was made but not released so that Fox could keep the rights for the Fantastic Four? There's a trailer and everything. I can look it up. I can search it up right now.
This is the one time I'm not gonna put tape on your mouth.
For the audience who may not know,
Yeah, exactly.
during the 90s, Marvel was kind of going through a rough time, and they were selling a bunch of their stuff. And I think they even had to fight for, and they sold it to a bunch of like movies, like companies. And sometimes they wouldn't really do anything with it. They would just sit on it. And I think for whoever made this one, was their rights were going to go expired if they didn't do anything with it. And to make it, or to keep it, they made a movie. They released a trailer for it and never released it. This is it. This was never meant to be released.
Definitely, some 90s vibe.
Yes, 1994.
From the pages of the world's greatest comic book adventure, 4 heroes on a daring mission in space. But something went wrong, genetically transformed. They become the most powerful superheroes of all time. Forces of evil are out to destroy their cosmic power. And to survive, they must utilize all their strengths.
Oh yeah, this was my favorite. That one's my favorite scene. Dude, it's flubber.
How come you don't know anything about relevant stuff, but you know anything about the past?
I just don't care about what today has.
This was in 1994.
Yes, 1994. It was produced by who is this made by? Doesn't say. Nope, that's not it.
I wonder if there has been any bootlegged released version of it that has snuck out.
I mean, maybe, but
I put it below them because there wasn't anything done for it. What was the purpose? You know?
keeping the rights.
Yeah.
Keeping it right. Just interesting. I wonder. It's kind of, well, not very nice for the actors. My God, look at this clothing though.
I even marked 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's just 4.
4.
4 is your favorite character from Fantastic Four movie from 1994. No, my favorite character is Ford the girl. Which one?
The girl.
The girl.
Which one?
You know,
Ford the girl. The blonde one. Or maybe Ford the guy. Which one? The one with brown hair. Which one?
Brown. I like the Rocky guy. Or I like the guy on Spike.
And everyone knows what you're talking about now. Looks like E.T.
It actually does look like.
Does it look like? Let me get a better look at this. Oh yeah, I guess he kind of does.
It really does.
That's yeah, man.
My pretty.
Real actors, and they even you can even see they took pictures for this and everything. Never released.
That's kind of crazy. Wow,
Imagine the thousands of other movies that have never been released and they just forgot to put the trailer out.
They forget.
Yeah, they're
And this guy's just waiting for it to happen.
And somebody would get fired at that.
Every person that gets fired from Disney, DreamWorks, anything, you gotta just wait for Levi to catch you. Who'll catch you and we'll make a podcast about you.
I'll beg to get you on.
Beg?
Yeah.
cool. Well, Maya, I think we need to start wrapping it up.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. So, our final thoughts about the Filipino movie?
I'm excited for it. I think I will go on my way to watch it.
Hopefully enthusiastic, because if this succeeds, it will hammer into most animated productions that you don't need to rehash sequels and you can actually make a really good original product.
I think that's a big issue with what I've seen with like DreamWorks and many other the animated films that come out. I think Toy Story's getting renewed again for another sequel.
They're extending the things that are already popular to keep their relevance, although it's already in the past. I mean, I've never even watched Toy Story. I never got into it. I watched like I'm gonna say 3 minutes and 59 seconds worth of actual like for the beginning of movies, first ever Toy Story. I already clicked off of it. I'm just not that interested about toys
I
anymore.
don't remember which one it was. I think it was Toy Story 3, but I felt like the ending was like one of the best endings I've ever seen. And I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Sequel
I
slot.
don't think there's gonna be a fifth one.
Yes, there is. There's been told. I think I heard something about there being a production. It's
Well,
really
no more Toy Story hate. I believe the movie is pretty good for what it is, and I think it'll open up a huge thing of diversity for a lot of people, and maybe for my era bass, maybe they'll actually be able to make something good that's not Jasmine dancing all over people. Just a recommendation. I'd like a more modest girl that doesn't, end up being like some. There's also, I believe, what is it? There are some Middle Eastern representation in other movies, like an actual Disney production film. I just cannot remember. I think it might have been maybe Raya, though I'm not fully sure about that. I don't believe so, not entirely. But I think it was supposed to be some in some case, and they butchered it entirely, and I felt kind of humiliated from it. I'm not sure. I think it was for the deserted theme of it all.
It's okay, dog.
Well,
I would like to say one thing before we do wrap up that thank you, Maya, for hosting this episode. And for our listeners, Maya's going to be taking on a more active role in our podcast in the future as Collin, our main podcaster this year, will be graduating. So thank you, Maya, for hosting our first one and your first episode with us. And I look forward to seeing what great things, changes, and how you change it to the podcast and how you evolve it. So
probably evolved by not trying to threaten the sky every second.
not trying to threaten. Well,
I won't be even here.
fortunately, Levi's will be moving on, so we have to find other people to threaten.
I'm not gonna be here, so you treat me.
Yeah. Well, this is Maya with the Raven Report. Stay curious, Ravens, and you say bye to Levi.
Hello.
I said bye.
Bye, everybody. Yeah.
That's all, folks.
I live in what?
That's all.
They make me